And before we start, can I just ask all the rest of the cast to stand up for a minute so we can applaud you? The crew, have all our volunteers and our crew. Please. Thank you for being here.
I want to start just to let the audience get to know you a little bit better. You've been here a few times already, but maybe you could all tell us a little bit more about what else you do beyond Soon by You. And I guess we'll start from the end.
Sure. I'm Noam Harary. As you saw, I play Z. And I guess what I do in my day-to-day life is audition for other projects, work in other plays. And I'm also a producer, and I make commercials and films.
Hi, I'm Sara Scur. When I'm not working with these lovely people, I'm also auditioning for other work, sometimes writing and trying to create my own work, and serving pizza at Ruby Rosa. So if you're ever in Soho, come and see me.
I get a lot of stalkers next to us.
Please come.
A lot of my life is actually the show, so I'm trying to think what else I do. I have a production company and I do other film work, so I produce and write and direct other projects. And right now I'm spending a lot of my time writing. I'm working on my first feature, so it's exciting.
I have many jobs. In addition to Soon by You, I am a professional theater director in New York City. I actually have a play that I just opened on Thursday night called Nellie and Leah Blackwell, an immersive theater piece about Nellie Bly. And I also teach in a bunch of different universities. I do voiceovers, I do stand-up, I act and produce and direct and do all kinds of things. I live a very artist life.
I'm Danny after David, and when I'm not working on Soon by You, writing and producing and acting in Soon by You, I do some writing and producing for another company that produces live events, and I also do some other theater directing type stuff. I'm also a husband and a father, and that takes a lot of my time as well. So there's that.
I'm Nathan Shapiro. I play Ben. I mostly just wait for the next episode of Soon by You to call me. I like everyone else here audition. I do sound design for theater and film as well. That's about it.
What do you do when you're not moderating Soon by You panel?
I'm waiting for the next episode. You guys gotta do some more than one
So
scene.
please donate so everybody can have a job and do things.
It's just got way more serious.
It's for Isaac, so.
Please.
Wait for Isaac.
I sit here talking to nobody. It's weird. I think this episode has a lot of serious, amazing points that I think we want to jump into a little bit later, but it's also, and I want to start there, it's also a really fun episode. It looked like you were having a lot of fun making this. I have to start by asking, how did you film the scene where you fell into the water? That I need to know how wet everybody got, how cold it was outside, and how that all came together. But also just to really include everyone. I mean, I think it seems like it's a lot of fun on the set. Are you having as much fun, or are you just keeping a smile on as they yell action? Tell us a little more.
I think it's a testament to all the actors that they seem like they're having fun on set. Oh boy.
We talked about this. We have fun.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Say we have fun.
How much we do.
The boat scene. Who wants to take that?
The boat scene. I mean, Sara, Danny, Miles, and Jenny, if you want to jump in and talk about that. I mean, first of all, I'm so grateful that Hazon let us film at the Isabella Friedman Jewish Retreat Center, because where else are we going to get a lake that we can just sort of take over?
You mean that wasn't Central Park?
What? Trick of the camera.
Movie magic.
And I mean, they really fell into the lake. That's the story. It's a testament to the actors that they were willing to do this. I remember
In November.
Yeah, it was November. In the audition room, we kind of warned them, and they were like, yeah, sure. And then it came down to it, like, oh, we really are doing this. But they were
November.
such good sports about it. I mean, I don't know. They were amazing. Yeah, do you want to talk about what that was like a little bit, Sarah, Danny?
Yeah, well, it was cold. I think we can all agree on it. It was cold before we fell in the lake, and then after we fell, oh boy, it was a lot colder after we fell in the lake.
I made you guys do the lake scene first, and then we did the other scene because I really wanted them to feel the cold and the wet for that scene.
Yeah, all the clothes that we were wearing in those
kind
scenes.
of cruel of me.
Yeah.
Did you get it in one take?
One take.
Wow.
Yeah, we had to do the jump in one take, but we had to do, like the rest of it was just leading up to the jump and making sure that one take was perfect. So we got right up to the jump, and then the boat would like turn, so we had to like start to do the whole thing again.
Was there wetsuits? Were you wearing wetsuits underneath? I can't even imagine.
That would have been
No,
Lifeguards?
we were
that
not.
would have been a good idea.
If anyone wants to product place some wetsuits in our next episode.
Wait, what's that?
Just play the footage of Sarah screaming. Oh, yeah.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because in the YouTube version of this episode, which comes out tomorrow, there's actually some additional footage at the end of the post jump. So it's just you guys screaming and
That's
swimming.
really mean. That's really mean.
It was just too good. I'm sorry.
Let me ask another question about this. One of the things that actually stood out to me about this episode, I'd say I've been watching all the episodes from the beginning, and longtime fan, first time caller. The production quality, and that has changed, and I'd love to hear from all of you where you're feeling it. I'm seeing it from the outside, but I'd love to really, I mean, it's beautifully shot, it's kind of come together. I know these are all independent episodes, and you're working on a shoestring budget, and I know the first ones were made even more independently, but it seems like the bar keeps going up in each episode. How's that happening? What am I seeing there?
You're seeing a very, very talented crew that has been with us for many people since the very beginning, and some people have come in for the last few
Shout out to
episodes.
Sharon, her cinematographer.
Part of that's also, I mean, you could probably speak more to this, but just learning from each episode and
Yeah, I mean, I think just by doing it, we get better at it. So every episode, we're kind of honing our skills and getting better at it, and also building a stronger team. And so we kind of keep people around who are doing a good job. And by now, we really have a strong team of people who have been with us before. They know what we're looking for. They know what they're doing. And it's just like very, very solid process by this point.
yeah, and you mentioned the fact that we are working on a lower budget, and that's a credit to the people who are working on our crew are definitely people who could demand and indeed do demand in other settings, higher rates and stuff like that, but because we do.
If they do.
They do. Because they believe in this project and are helping us out so much, we're really, really lucky to be working with them.
And on this topic, Nathan, you're not really on set in this episode. I think we only saw you on the phone.
I was
How was that
in the same
done?
time zone as the shoot. So no, I was out in Seattle with family, and they were kind enough to rewrite some things so I could still be a part of this episode. So I'm super grateful for that.
And you shot your own scenes too.
It's true. I should have some camera credit,
That's
right?
true.
I think that's how DiCaprio does it too, so yeah, he can't make it to set.
It's really inspirational.
So I'll rewrite for him. Let's get into some serious stuff here, and this was a really brave episode, and I was touched by watching it and seeing that you're bringing up a topic, the LGBTQ elements within the modern Orthodox community, and to raise that to the surface and the way you handled it, I thought was beautifully. Were you afraid of any backlash? What made you want to include this in this episode?
I don't think afraid is the right word. I think we were aware that there would be. But I think knowing that kind of made us realize how important it is to do this, because there is still that backlash and those ideas. And that's why we felt it was so important and so vital for us to bring this story to the screen. And I mean, a big part of it was partnering with JQI and Ashel, and like we went into it saying, this is not our experience. Danny and I writing this, and we want it to feel authentic, and we want it to ring true, and we want to tell the message that is important for that community. And we went into it knowing that we don't necessarily know fully what that is. And so we're so grateful that we had these amazing partners who were really with us like every step of the way. And we worked together to create this storyline. And our hope is that it reaches people who need to hear that and who need to see that. And that's way more important than any, YouTube trolls that might come.
And I've been noticing over the years that you're taking on, I think, you're pushing the envelope for the Jewish community, and I think that's something that will only make this show even more popular and bring more attention to the show and make it more important. So thank you for doing that. Let me ask you, for those fans, and then I'm going to open it to questions from the audience. You have over 200,000 fans, at least according to YouTube views, and I'm sure there are many more out there, because I'm sure people don't watch this alone, which is really nice. That's what I love about this, also, that you have an opportunity not to sit in front of your screen in your bed, but to actually watch it with other people and not to be in your pajamas, most of you, so thank you. But what do you need to move this forward? How can we provide more Soon by You to their fans?
That's a really good question.
I'm glad I thought of it.
Yeah. From the beginning, creating this, becoming to where we are now, it started out as a 15-minute short film, and the reason we're here, like 7 episodes later, is because of you and because of the people who are watching it. And if we had no audience, there would be no show. And so you're such a vital part of what we're doing here. It's a relationship, and just people watching it, people sending us messages saying that they liked it and giving us that feedback, that gives us so much strength to move forward, because sometimes we're just kind of doing this in our own world, and it's like, does anybody want this? Does anybody even like it? And seeing that feedback and hearing that from people means so much to us. And then people just showing up like you're all doing right now. That's a huge deal, that people want to see this content. And so I think the other part of it is definitely, funding. This is totally a pitch, so just know that. We have so many more stories that we want to tell. Stories like this that we feel are so important to be told and that we're not seeing get told anywhere else. And we need partners. We need help from everybody. Everybody sitting here can help us in some way, whether it's literally $5 or $5,000. Everything really helps us, and you can be our partner in bringing these stories to life and making the show more sustainable, because right now our last premiere was a year ago, and we want to create episodes faster. We have so many more stories to tell. There are so many topics that are important to talk about, and so many more jokes and so much more fun to be had. And we really need all of your help to do that, both in showing up for us like you're doing right now, and we're so grateful for that, and by just texting a number right now and helping us create the next episode, because we have a partner already. We have the story, we know where it's going, and it's going to be really good. So we just want you to partner with us and help us make it happen.
So I have some chicken egg questions. So which comes first, the idea of an organization that you could see sponsoring this, and then the story coming from there, or the other way around? And also, did you go to Abby, or did Abby go to you?
Yeah, no, we had this idea for a really long time, and when we were first outlining the whole season, we knew we wanted to incorporate this storyline. We didn't know exactly how we were going to do it, but we knew that we wanted to. And then once we got down to okay, we're actually going to do this, I knew we needed the right partners to do it. And so we really just started by doing research and talking to people, and then we talked to JQI and Eshel, and that evolved into a partnership and a sponsorship, and we got to work with them, and that just evolved in the most wonderful, perfect way. But with this next episode that we have coming up, it's a similar thing where we had the idea, and I approached another organization, and we're partnering with them moving forward. So we kind of have a model now. But we're also very much open to organizations and partners who have an important message that they want to get across to the Jewish community or to the larger community, and we're excited and we would be honored to do that.
Thank you for your question.
Oh, yes. Abby was a fan, and then we became friends. And once we were actually getting close to producing this episode, and I reached out to her, and I was like, do you want to do this cameo? And she said yes, and it just happened really quickly, and that was very exciting. So.
Those who don't know, Abby was the yoga instructor in this scene, in this episode.
Breathe into your kneecap.
Hi, I'm Shlomo Ashkenazi, and I'm the board chair of Eshel. And I do have a question, but before that, I ask my question. I really want to thank you for working with Rabbi Steve Greenberg and Baron Kaplikov, our directors, and being so brave. And I just have to tell you how much I enjoyed watching this, and your writing ability to balance the angst and funny and sad and all at the same time sometimes, and how much I'm enjoying seeing all of you who are so different than the characters you play. I really expected you to be like the characters, and you're not. But now that you've introduced these two LGBT characters, I'm wondering, will they continue to appear in future episodes?
Yeah, I hope so. Miles and Jenny, do you want to come back? Great, yes.
Sounds like a commitment. That's recorded.
There we go, that's our contract, so. Yeah, I mean, I think ideally I'd love them to come back, and we focused in this episode on their story as LGBTQ characters, and I'd love them to be characters who happen to be LGBTQ in the future and explore other sides of them.
And the next time we get that phone, we'll go frozen lake. So, because we have to up the stakes. So.
Hi, just want to echo everything that was said about the representation, especially from LGBTQ people. It's so nice to see that represented. Really
She was dominating Mincha.
I know, it's great. But my question is actually for members of the cast who are not Jewish or Orthodox, what is it like, or what has it been like to sort of enter this world, learn about the Orthodox Jewish Upper West Side, modern Orthodox scene, and what have you learned? What has been surprising to you about the community?
So there's two of us. So my dad's side of the family is Jewish, but my mom's side of the family is Catholic, so I'm nothing. And it's been interesting for me because we've been doing this now for 4 years. Has it been 4 years? The universality of it, showing the show to people who aren't of this faith and seeing them laugh or seeing them connect. Things aren't as different as they might appear on the surface, and that's probably been my main takeaway from it, is just how human the story is, rather than the intersectionality of all of it has been probably my main takeaway.
Hello. So one thing I really love about this show is how the characters express affection without ever contact is somewhat limited. And I just saw the Yiddish Fiddler on the Roof, which did something very similar. There's a lot of affection expressed, but no contact is very limited. So I'm just wondering if that was something that you find yourself creating from a Jewish place or from a different mindset.
I think that certainly a lot of the people involved, a lot of people perhaps sitting right in front of you right now also kind of are used to living a Shomer life, living a life where you're not married, you don't touch people of the opposite sex. So it's definitely why we're including that in the show, is that is the life that these characters are living. And I think as far as being intentional about it and however successful we might be at showing that affection, it's because it's the way that we've been. Some of us have been just in our own lives, so it comes kind of organically from that place.
And also, I mean, I think it's also, for me as a director, it's a testament to the actors who are able to convey that sexual tension without actually touching, and to me that is so interesting. And I like exploring that on screen. I feel like we don't see that a lot, but it's really, really interesting to me.
And I'm sorry, we handed the microphone back before Sarah got to answer the last question. I'm putting you on the spot, sorry.
You caught me. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard answer to follow Nathan because he said it so well. But it's been really great. You think as an actor, you're giving a gift by doing a performance, but oftentimes you get the gift by being in an environment that you wouldn't typically be in, or learning about things you wouldn't typically learn about, and it really humbles you and changes you as a person. So it's been really good, because otherwise I don't know that I would learn how to say holla or all these other things. So it's been really great, and everyone on set has been super awesome about not making me feel, like I don't know much about what's happening. Everyone always helps me out or helps me pronounce something or explain something to me if I don't get it. So thank you guys, because it's been really nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just because we're out of time, I wanted to say that I love that this is a community effort, and that it really, both from the fans, that they're part of the creative process, and I think also the actually creative crew are all people who are very much engaged in the community and see this beyond just being a TV show. And in our world where we have so much out there as far as Netflix and Hulu and everything else, to have this as an option is something that is extremely important and extremely worthy. And niche audiences need to find these kinds of shows to connect to. And I really hope, especially for this episode, and this is another place where you could help beyond texting, however much you can text. It's also about getting press, getting the word out there, telling your friends, getting more people to watch it, posting it. I think there's a lot that needs to be discussed about an episode like this one, and it's important for the Jewish community to have opportunities to discuss this. So beyond this platform. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. All right. You just finished a Soon By You video. Excellent. Now you can go outside, get some fresh air, read a book, or you could watch another Soon By You video. And honestly, which is easier? Just click. Also, click here on our logo to subscribe.